Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sophia Parola with Garden State Film Festival. And right now we are talking about the short film Ward. Here to talk to us about it is the director and producer of the film, Angel Fajardo. Angel, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations.
Sophia, thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. You have such a wonderful energy, and I'm really excited to talk about this short film. Before we get into it, can you tell everybody who's watching a little bit about your film, Ward?
Of course. Ward is about a boy named Pete who ages out of the foster care system, and the film just follows him kind of figuring it out, realizing the gravity of a situation, and through flashbacks and a moment of reflection at the home that he used to live in, he he just is thankful that at least there's a home there and that there's a family there, and he takes that with him to kind of find some peace towards the end.
Beautiful synopsis of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so this film was written by Carrie Wally, and she got her friend Angel to direct it. That's what I read. Is that in fact true?
Oh yeah, I remember she was actually looking for a director because this was her thesis project in order to graduate Fairleigh Dickinson, and she had asked me to produce because I'd produced other work, and I was kind of just nudging my little nose in there, being like, "Hey, could I possibly do the honor of producing and directing your film?" And it took her a little bit, just a little bit, but she opened up to it, and I got to do it.
Wow. And I would love to know what attracted you about this film. Why did you want to direct it?
Because I had known Carrie for 2 years at that point. She had become a very dear friend of mine, and she wrote it from such a personal place. She was adopted as well, and she grew up just like having a very strong empathy and kindness to everyone that she knew, and it was clear that she cared a lot about those that do end up in the foster care system, and she wanted to give them a voice through her script.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing it. And if Carrie's watching this, thank you for writing this story.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Amazing story. So, Angel, I would love to. This question always stumps me. People say, "Tell me a little bit about yourself," but I really would love to hear a little bit about you and, why you love filmmaking and why you wanted to be a director.
I Yeah, that is so much to have to dig out of my brain.
I
Um,
know. Sorry, it's a big question.
no, it's all good. When thinking about it recently, through therapy, I'm like regurgitating a lot of my history, and I'm like, oh, clearly that's what it is. But basically, I'm a first generation American, and I grew up mainly indoors at home, just because of like the big scale fears of the world, let's say. But in that, I found comfort in what I watched and what I studied, and it was mainly just how great film can be for the spirit when it's low, for when it's even high, and you want to like match the energy of what you're watching, or you want what
Yes.
you're watching to match your own energy. Um, it was just a matter of finding the spirit in what you watched and letting that guide you. And it was always important to watch like important things that included love, that included heartbreak, that included lessons that you want to take away. And I think over time, I never thought myself as a filmmaker or an artist, but more so as someone with a mission to get people's voices out, including my own, but most importantly, those that have worked hard and suffered in my own community and in my own circle. That's my cat, sorry. and and yeah, I think over time it just made sense that I wanted to focus my efforts on a medium that allowed me um, to exercise my skills that I developed as a kid, which was just watching and observing and loving every little bit of why movies are great. Color,
Mhm.
shots, direction, acting. Um, it's just a indescribable love that I developed over time that I am stubborn in letting go.
Oh, I think your cat was dropping the mic over there, Angel, because that was so beautiful. I
Oh,
too
Sophia, thank you.
No, I too relate to just film being that way of just understanding yourself and the environment and like and escape and therapy. And I love it. And I
Oh,
especially love when filmmakers, they tell stories exactly like what you said, that means something. And Ward is definitely one of those stories. Is that like one of the reasons you were inspired to direct it? Because everything you're just saying seems like Ward encompasses all of those things.
I mean, like I wanted to direct it because uh, there was no there was no fiction about it. There
Hmm.
was no lies that were trying to like cover up the unfairness of the system that Pete has to go through.
Hmm.
And it's almost written like a documentary where it's like this is what happens.
Yeah.
And I I felt encouraged and empowered to do everything I could to bring that to life and to most importantly just make use of the friendship that both Carrie and I and our crew members have, which is we're all in love with film and
Mm.
um, we're all happy with each other. So
Yeah.
we just try to pull in as much as we can to help each other out in that way.
Absolutely. And I commend you, Carrie, and the crew because watching the film, there was just a specific style. Not only was like the color its own kind of style, like the visuals were there, but like the silence, there was a lot of silences where you just kind of had to sit with what you're watching and think about how you were feeling, or maybe I wasn't thinking at all. It just like I remember thinking about the silences, how important and impactful that was. It really was just a beautiful, moving art piece. So, talk to me about your direction. Like, was that on purpose? How did you guys find the look and feel of this film?
I mean, the script had maybe 8 lines of dialogue from just like what you see on the screen. It's whatever is said. The beginning starts with camcorder footage that was just improvised on the spot. We encouraged the family to play house in
Oh,
like the most
wow.
sad way. It's like everyone's unhappy. No one wants to be here except for maybe the
Mhm.
kid. And the rest of it was just pure description. A 4-page script that turned into a 12-minute film because our protagonist Pete is just an observer, and the script was fleshed out to describe what he's going through. And to me, that read like a book. And I just talked with my DP Ben Carolyn, and we fleshed out through storyboard, through shot lists, and even at times using our phones to kind of mimic the sequence in the edit. Um, we just figured that we would show what Pete was feeling, what he was seeing, and just how the world around him just keeps moving while he's standing still.
Mm. Well done. I love that Pete was an observer and that you could really see that through the film. Amazing. So I love that you said you got that camcorder footage kind of like on the spot. Was there any other parts of this film when you were filming that you kind of were like, Let's try this out," or was most of it planned?
We're indie filmmakers. We have no time. We have no money to plan. The budget was so small. The time was just so spare, and we shot listed everything um, to a T. The intro was probably the only thing improvised,
Mm,
only because we couldn't afford to try something out. Like,
mm,
sure, we had some shots cut out, and um, we had some moments that were crafted in a different way in the edit versus in the script. But I think it was a story that needed to be told in the way that it was written. Carrie really didn't add much over time, other than maybe some minor change in perspective of either the characters or in the description of the
mm.
event itself. Um, yeah, it was definitely more important to stick to the script for this story versus any other kind.
Mm. And do you have any snippets of wisdom or advice for other filmmakers who might be watching this? What did you learn from this process that you're going to take to your next project?
Um, it's it can be a risk, but I think it's really important to work with those that you have a constant flow with, and they could be your friends, they could be your family, they can be just collaborators that you just find over time. But what's really important is that you find a vibe and a connection with everyone, mostly everyone, but with everyone that you work with, because then it's guaranteed that you feel safe, you feel trusting with who you're being vulnerable with at all times, because it's an art medium, and you can't help but put yourself into it. I most definitely put myself into this film by including my friends, my family, my little brothers and cousins are in a scene where they're having a birthday cake. My mom's
Oh,
holding the cake. It's a very personal film for me and for everyone involved because we all deeply do care for each other and we all still keep in contact because that's we made this out of love.
I love that. And are all of you from New Jersey? This is a New Jersey homegrown short.
Yeah, we're maybe we had a few crew members from Maryland, this and that, but everyone's from Jersey.
Amazing. So tell me about the Jersey film community. I mean, I think New Jersey gets, excuse my French, like crapped on in a lot of films, but it is it's such a great filmmaking community. Garden State Film Festival was obviously born in Jersey. What can you tell me about the New Jersey film community?
It's expanding so
Mm,
rapidly right now. I mean, you have like the big dogs coming in, the
yeah.
studios like putting their foot down and being like, "This is our home now," and that's going to bring in even like a lot more work. But in the indie scene, as far as I know, they're they're littered everywhere. Crews, groups, even like rogue filmmakers who do it all on their own. It's just
Mm,
there's an abundance of people, craftsmen, artisans, like crew members, producers, and everyone's shifting jobs. It's this like a litter of chameleons that are all just kind of
litter
doing
of
what they want
chameleons.
to do at the moment. You know, whatever color they fall on, they'll just vibe with that color. And I've met a lot more people over time in Trenton, in Jersey City, Harrison, um, Princeton. I
Mhm.
It's growing, and if you want to find people, you just have to look.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're all here.
And that's why your advice is so important. Find people you can connect with and vibe with and just collaborate with them and make something that you love, just like this short film. Before we hop off, I'd love to hear why you guys submitted to Garden State Film Festival and how does it feel to be screening at the 21st year?
Uh, I had to like pick my heart up from the floor as soon as I saw that we were accepted because it had jumped out of my body from like the shock, maybe even the fear of it. Like we're gonna be shown up there. Mhm. It was a
Right.
total shock. I mean, it's a festival that's been running for a pretty long time. It means a lot to have us included in such an established um, circuit. I mean, it's an honor, and we submitted because it's in the name, our home.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Jersey.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And will you be there, Angel, at the screening?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, amazing. And I hope Carrie and some of the other crew members get to be there as well.
oh they will. I can attest to that.
Amazing. Great. So let me tell everyone how maybe they can meet you, Carrie, the crew, and watch Ward. It will be screening Saturday, March 25th in the Asbury Hotel in Asbury Hall in the film block 12 to 2 p.m. So definitely check it out, meet the crew, and look at this beautiful film made with love. Angel, thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us about it.
Sophia,
Congratulations
thank you
again.
for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.